Hello, and welcome to another episode of Josh's Journeys. My name is Josh Carter, and today I'll be speaking to you about how culinary principles are good for people on the ASD spectrum. One of the things that I've learned over time from my experiences in culinary is that they hold principles that are valuable tools regardless of people's capacity or understanding. To have something such as looking at the terminology mise en place, meaning everything in its place. So, if I want to put everything in order, I need to create a structured approach to things. So, with me, when I first started culinary, the biggest challenge for me was the facet that I would go from point A to Z without doing the steps in between. So that's what frustrated me when I was in the culinary industry. It wasn't until I started volunteering for a mental health center and getting comfortable with my skills to feel confident in my abilities. But it was so much more in the lessons because I got to provide food for people that appreciated it. And the same principle was when I cooked for a homeless shelter. I really got to experience my ability to believe in my abilities, and also for people I didn't even know. It was a good way for me to connect and understand my surroundings, uh, made me feel more confident in my abilities and what I'm capable of. Because anything I want to learn, I put it to just doing everything I can possibly do to research, to understand, to analyze. It's really the principles I stand by in my life because it's helped me imagine life differently. It's very therapeutic, by the way. It's the most helpful thing that I can find, and you know what you're putting together. It's really becomes an art. It becomes a joy that is just immense. And you connect with people. One of the biggest things that's hard is getting into conversations with people uh, that may not understand exactly what you face, but the culinary aspect of it all connects people because people connect with food. And it also carries over to how we see things because it just it brings out the best in us um, because we're connecting, we're building relationships, and that's one of the things that I've always wanted to do as someone on the spectrum because it's important that I get out of my comfort zones, even though it can be a challenge at times. But that's the only way you're going to get better is by trying. Um, Now it just it holds more than I could have imagined. I've connected with so many people through my food, and I've got to experience many amazing things. Um, I actually got to work under a world renowned pastry chef, and he was allergic to flour. And that was the original plan, was to go into baking. And I I found more from what I wanted to do because of that experience. I went to culinary school, and I got to work with someone who had an autistic son. And it was a great experience because a lot of the people in the industry um, aren't patient with people who face challenges. And if you're not fast enough, they let you go. So that was the biggest thing I struggled with is, am I good enough? But you are good enough, even though you may not be able to work in a kitchen, say, but being able to use that as a coping mechanism. That's what I do. I love providing food for people. It brings me solace in myself that I'm doing something that people will enjoy. And I'm getting enjoyment out of it because I'm seeing exactly that I'm building that bond, that connection. And it's important to be able to do that. Um, I've always wanted to have people to better understand what I face. And that's a starting point because everyone has that one thing they enjoy doing. And you have to find what's enjoyable to you. So even though you may not think about going into any culinary principles, they hold value in everything that we do because there's always an order, there's always an instruction, but it makes us better in what we do. And that's all you could ever ask for is just being able to have that ability to do something that you love doing. I mean, take your passion and go with it. Um, and it was one of those things that I knew that I wanted so much more out of it, but that was not my path. Um, I still enjoy cooking, um, but I know that my direction is somewhere else. I want to help people like a lot of us on the spectrum. And people just need an opportunity to be heard, to be seen, understood, and just a willingness for people to listen what you have to say. Um, I think that we need to be able to connect on a deeper level, and that's why I hold value in these principles. Please like, subscribe, and share. And you have a good day. Um, Leave a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, bye.